Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's Latest. Today we're going to talk about the new stadium meeting that's happening today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time in Tampa, as well as the possibility of is Yandy Diaz's time in Tampa kind of taking a little bit. But first, I want to talk about this new stadium news. The meeting is today at 4 p.m. And in a recent podcast, some of the trustees kind of came out and said that they want a little bit more than 100 acres. I think the proposed site is exactly 113. They complete resemble the Battery in Atlanta, and it's kind of they don't have time to waste. Is what they've been saying. Intended to open a new ballpark by April of 2029, which is in 3 years. So they're expected to outline possible plans for a stadium and mixed-use development projects with the Hillsborough County Board of Trustees today. And I'll get you guys a little picture of what the proposed kind of thing looks like. And it's So you can see Raymond James in the bottom left, and then this is where Steinbrenner is up at the top, and then this is the campus, the Hillsborough campus right there. And so the proposed meeting and kind of the proposed plan is set to have a mixed-use facility, a new ballpark, kind of a battery-ish type of entertainment venue, and they're still going to be keeping the college there. There's going to be places of use for the college as well. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see how they're able to tie all of that together. And if they keep Steinbrenner there with the new baseball stadium, with Raymond James, plus a college, like that just seems like that's a little too much in one spot, especially from just like where's parking going to be? Like where are you going to be able to park your car? So it's going to be interesting to see what the exact layout and of the kind of proposed plan will end up looking like if it kind of goes through today at this meeting. But if it goes through at this meeting, the site's pretty much set in stone. It does say in the memorandum that the Hillsborough County Board of Trustees can pull out at any time. And it doesn't say specifically if there's a deadline, if there is a date of where they can't pull out anymore, but it says that they're able to completely cancel and pull out whenever they'd like. So I'm intrigued to see if that means before breaking ground, or if that's before contract is officially signed, if that's, which I would assume it's probably more the contract officially signed territory. But it'll be interesting to see kind of if they fully commit to it. And I'm interested also to see how the whole college aspect kind of works its way into that as well. Because I thought they were just going to get rid of the entire campus, but it doesn't sound like that campus is going anywhere, and they're kind of just using extra space for the stadium and kind of the battery thing. And Tampa Bay Rays have also came out and said that the ownership will fully reimburse Hillsborough College for anything that's kind of going on. So I think with that being said, I think that there's really not a reason why the Hillsborough Board of Trustees is going to say no. Because if anything, it's just going to bring more people to their college who wouldn't want to go to school next to two professional sports venues in near downtown Tampa. Like it's one of those where it's the airport's right there. You can get in and get out very easily. You can go to downtown in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, barring traffic on some of those roads. Is horrible trying to get to games. But I think the only thing that I'm kind of considered concerned with is parking and how they're going to, because it's in the middle of a neighborhood, all of this stuff. So it's like you go across the main road kind of to get towards the airport, and there's shops and restaurants and things like that. And then you go to the other side and it's Raymond James and Steinbrenner, and then it's just big grass lots for parking. And then there's the college. And then to the right of everything, if you're looking north directly at the stadium, is just miles of subdivisions. So it's like I don't know where they're going to put any more stuff if they're taking away empty land already there. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little too crammed, I think, unless they have find the perfect way to kind of incorporate everything. But we're definitely going to see how that vote goes today at 4 o'clock and see how that goes. And the next thing I want to talk about is Yandy Diaz. And I don't think it's too crazy to say that Yandy's time in Tampa is kind of ticking a little bit. As much as I hate to say that from a fan perspective, I love Yandy Diaz, but he's 34 years old, and he's been nothing but productive. He's one of the most underrated hitters in all of baseball. He's not underrated to Tampa fans because we know how good he is, but nobody else really sees him as a top tier hitter. But he hits almost 300 every year, and he had 25 homers and 83 RBIs last season, completely under the radar. Like even for race fans, it's kind of like, oh, he ended up with 25 last year, and it's like, oh, he ended up hitting 300 because the start of the season was really, really bad, and he just consistently climbed out of it every single week. So he's a great baseball player. Defensively wise, he's still serviceable at first base, but he's a primary DH at this point in his career, especially when you have a Ronda at first base. But I think with him being 34, he's kind of entering this end of his contract here in Tampa. He's being paid a decent amount in Tampa Bay raised dollars, and I would not be surprised if at some point before the trade deadline they're going to kind of weigh their options on what the season's looking like. If we're somehow competing at the highest level and we're near the top of the division with a really good chance to make the playoffs, he might not go anywhere. But if it's kind of what we're seeing, like we're going to be competing wise in the AL East, I could see him being moved to get a decent amount of value for him. And as much as I hate to say that, just from a race perspective, I don't want to lose Yanni Diaz, obviously, but I could see that being an option kind of going down the road and kind of freeing up some of that cap space as well. And I would see it as more of a prospect haul for him, is what I would think would be kind of Neander's route towards that. And I don't think that the asking price for him is going to be too large, considering his contract is only $11 million a year. So it's not, you can't just salary dump him on somebody because for any other team in the league, $11 million for Yanni Diaz is unbelievable. Any team in the league would pay $11 million for him a year. So he's worth more than that 11 million. And once his contract is up, his next contract, barring just a complete downfall of a season this year, it's going to be a little bit higher, and I think it's going to be a little bit out of the Rays' price range. And I think you realistically could re-sign him. I think he loves playing and being in Tampa, but I just don't think that financially wise, it's a great idea. And I think that just kind of, I think what's going to happen, like I said, is they're going to kind of judge how the season's going. And if before the trade deadline around All-Star break, he's not good, or he's doing great, but the team's not good, it's going to be one of those, okay, let's see what our options are and let's possibly move on from him at this point just to get some value out of him. But you guys let me know what you guys think about Yanni Diaz, especially, and if there's anything you're excited for with the new stadium or what you would like them to see do, please let me know. And you guys have a great one.